Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are discussing a theory about Frozen, which is a movie I'm sure you guys all love because it's one of the top grossing films of all time. But the theory that we are discussing today is actually a little bit darker. Now, don't worry, it's not a scary theory. If you're a scaredy cat like me, you'll be totally fine. But it is a little bit darker than what I usually cover on this channel. But before we get into it, I did just want to address real quick that I did change my hair, if you're wondering. It used to be a lot longer and darker, but I cut it off, lightened it up because I wanted a change. In my most recent video, I do have my new hairstyle, but just in case you guys didn't see that, I thought I'd just address it. So now let's get on into the theory. So the theory all begins in the scene where Elsa is trapped in a cell by Hans. If you guys remember, he's tied her up in chains so that she can't use her magical powers. And he's obviously done this because he is trying to get rid of Anna and Elsa so that he can have the throne to Arendelle all by himself. But this scene's pretty straightforward, right? Hans built a chamber so that Elsa can't use her powers and can't escape so that he can be the heir to the throne, right? Well, it's not as simple as it seems. Because if Hans built this cell for Elsa, how did he know that the powers were coming from her hands? How did he know that these cuffs would stop her powers from coming out of her hands? And he also didn't have the resources or the time to build an entire chamber for Elsa. So Hans couldn't have built this cell for Elsa. So if Hans didn't, who did? So we know from the film that the only people that know about Elsa's powers are her parents and the trolls. And the trolls obviously did not build this cell for Elsa. So therefore, her parents built it for her. That's right, Elsa and Anna's parents built this cell for Elsa for somewhere for her to go when her powers get out of control. And some more evidence to this is when Elsa wakes up in the cell, she doesn't look like she's unfamiliar with her surroundings. Like, she's not really looking around a lot trying to figure out where she is. Instead, she kind of gets up, realizes she has these chains on, and instantly looks out the window to see what damage she has done. Meaning that she was familiar with this room because her parents had made it for her and she'd been there many times before. But I promise you, it is not as dark as it sounds. So this theory actually stems from this photo right here that went viral on basically everything. And it basically says that her parents built her this cell out of like malicious intent and that they were really cruel to her. But I disagree with this. Throughout the film, when we do see Elsa and Anna's parents, not a lot because they unfortunately passed away, but when we do see them, they are very loving and caring and especially supportive of Elsa. It would be a lot to have a daughter that has these powers, and they handle it extremely well. All they ever try to do is love for her, care for her, and help her. So I find it extremely hard to believe that they suddenly just flipped a switch and were basically torturing her by keeping her in this cell. It just doesn't make any sense. Instead, I believe that they built this cell for Elsa upon Elsa's request. When she was younger, she was constantly trying to find ways to keep her powers hidden from everyone so that she wouldn't hurt them. An example of this is when we do find out that Elsa and Anna's parents have died, Elsa locks herself in her room so that her powers won't hurt Anna. So I think that Elsa requested a cell like this where she could have somewhere to go where her powers just get too out of control so that she can just keep them contained in a safe space and she can't hurt anyone. That would make a lot more sense to me, and that her parents helped her with it because they were loving and caring and supportive like we saw in the film. And it likely looks like a scary horror movie type cell because she hasn't been in it in years and obviously would not have maintained it. So when she was in there when she was younger, it would not have looked that creepy. Further evidence to this cell not originally being that creepy is the window. The cell that Elsa is locked in has a window with what would be a gorgeous view in the summer. It would have a gorgeous view of the river when the lake isn't frozen over from Elsa's uncontrollable powers, of course. But so I have personally visited old jails, and let me tell you, if they are trying to punish someone, they don't give them a window at all. In a majority of the cells that I visited, there were no windows anywhere and not even a door that you could see through half the time. So for them to give a window was pretty rare, and even then it would not be a gorgeous window with a gorgeous view of the river like Elsa has. But if it was someone that loved Elsa making the cell for her, it would make perfect sense for them to put in a big window with a view so that she doesn't feel so isolated when she's in there. As such, this creepy cell in the movie is not created by Hans. It is in fact created by Elsa and Anna's parents, but not in a malicious way. So I hope you guys enjoyed that theory. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I upload it 2 times a week. I upload a DIY/lifestyle video every single Wednesday and a movie-based video like this one every single Saturday. What was that? And if you want to see more of my face, I am on Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. My links are down below and on the screen right now. And that is it for today's video. If you made it right to this very end, past all that subscribe and stuff, let me know down in the comments below what you think of the movie Frozen. I personally really enjoyed the movie and I really like it, but I don't think it is Disney's best movie of all time. I think there are other movies that probably deserve to be highest grossing. But hey, it's a good movie nonetheless. And that's it for today's video. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye!